Guys, welcome back to the Holderhek channel with the next installment of Defy Expectations. We will be going over the Spider Quarter in Naxxramas. As always, a fundamental understanding of the boss mechanics and what consumables you need to be bringing to the raid to do maximum DPS is already expected. I've released a bunch of these videos, but if you don't know what to do, there's going to be links below that give you a list of literally every buff in the game. And, if you're a Naxxramas as an enhancement shaman, you should, probably know which of those potions and elixirs and jujus that you should be running. Talking about Anubracon, there's a couple of things you need to do in this fight to maximize your DPS. Obviously, he starts off with the 2 crypt guards. You're going to want to pop a free action potion to make sure you don't get webbed and that you can continue to cleave these bosses. A use of dense dynamite and sappers is actually really useful on this fight because of the crypt scarabs and because of the cleave aspect of all of that. So, when you fight the first 2 crypt guards at the very, very beginning, you can Fire Nova Totem and Dense Dynamite them as you're running in. That's good for cleave damage. I wouldn't recommend sappering these, although you can. I would save Sapper in case somebody died, so you can then, sapper all the crypt scarabs. Not because it's better for the raid, but because it's better for your DPS. Remember, that's what we're going for here, LOL. JK, it's also better for the raid. But yeah, I'd probably use Dense Dynamite here and Fire Nova and then maybe a Magma, and then it shouldn't use all of your mana, and then by then the 2 Crypt Guards should be dead. After that, we just go right over to Anubracon and we do our usual single target DPS rotation until Locust Swarm, in which case you will then run out to the Crypt Scarab. You'll probably have to use a Greater Mana Potion and a Dark Rune as per usual, and that means you will likely be webbed on the Crypt Guard and not be able to make it over to the boss unless people are big brain and tank the Crypt Guard closer to the boss, but, that's on other people and not really you, so kill that Crypt Guard as soon as possible. After that, run back over to Anubracon and continue your single target DPS rotation after Locust Swarm while keeping a Sapper and Fire Nova on the ready for any Crypt Scarabs from deaths or just random spawns. I'm pretty sure they only happen when people die, but people are going to always inevitably die from the Impale, so just always have that on the ready to, obviously kill the bugs, help the raid, but, pad the meters, because the only thing people care about in this game is the meters, let's be real. Next, we move on to Grand Window Freyalina. That's a great way to pronounce her name. I think it's really good. So with her, she's got her ads, and her ads are not bosses, so if you really want to maximize your DPS, if you have a, Hand of Rag and a Drake Talon Cleaver, let's say you're like one of those guys, you could use your Hand of Rag on her ads and do way more damage on her ads, and then swap to your Drake Talon Cleaver on the boss. Now, if you're running a Dark Edge, or you're running a Severance, or if you, already have like a Might of Menethil, obviously, you could use Might of Menethil on the ads, and then swap back to Dark Edge on Freyalina, or, I know it's Fairbanks, or you can just use, Might of Menethil the whole time and just hope you kill her fast enough. Now, there's really not much to do on this fight other than weapon swapping and timing your trinket use. You will likely do more damage to her ads than you will her. So if you want to maximize your meter damage, you would blow trinkets on the ads, which also, helps kill them faster. It's good for the raid, but it also helps give you more damage. Kind of same thing too. I know we just got done talking about Anubracon. If you blow your trinkets and cooldowns on the ads, you will typically do more damage to the ads than you will the boss. So it's probably a good idea to do it then, if you're trying to pad, which we are. On Freyalina, really the only thing you can do to make this fight simpler would be like a Greater Fire Protection Potion and maybe a Nature Protection Potion if you're feeling super tryhard. But I mean, we have Poison Cleansing Totem, we're the Horde, we're superior, so poison damage is kind of a joke to us, just like this boss. The last boss in the spider quarter that we're going to talk about is going to be Mexina, the big spider. So with this fight, what you have to do is, once again, you have to utilize your cooldowns and timing of your sappers and fire nova to properly damage this boss. Every so often, the boss drops a bunch of little spiders on the ground, and it's going to be your job, probably twice during the raid, to AoE down these spiders. You can use Dense Dynamite, you can use Fire Nova Totem, you can use Magma Totem, you can use Goblin Sapper charges. And the proper utilization of those 4 forms of AoE is going to supplement your damage in such a massive way that you will notice a night and day difference from not AoEing down the spiders to the time you did AoE down the spiders. So make sure you always save cooldowns / consumables for AoEing down those spiders. Other than that, this fight is brain dead for DPS, especially melee DPS. Obviously, the tanks are wearing mitigation gear. I don't think you necessarily need to use a Fetish of the Sand Reaver on this boss fight, but obviously, if you're fully world buffed and you open up with a 10k Wind Fury crit, then it's probably a good idea to use Fetish of the Sand Reaver. Otherwise, you can open with Flame Tongue, as I've mentioned before, for the first couple of globals. You can open with a one-hander. Personally, my one-hander is a misplaced servo arm, so I've accidentally Wind Furied with that thing for like 5 or 6k, so that's not really necessarily the best option, in my opinion. I would just say Flame Tongue for a global or 2, then drop your regular totems. Make sure you hit as many of those bugs as possible when they spawn, and you're gonna do top tier DPS. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for the spider quarter of Naxxramas. It's the easiest quarter of Naxx. It's the one most people go into first and have the most success in. Really, the only boss that's difficult at all is Mexina, and that's just because it's kind of a brain check on the healers and the tanks being able to coordinate cooldowns with heals, with, you know, hots. So it's not really on you. All you're there to do is AoE down spiders, AoE down crypt guards, AoE down cultists, and do the big bonks on the boss until the boss dies. So, Spider Quarter, in summary, is an AoE quarter. Get good at AoE, and you will be good at these bosses. Thank you guys for joining me on the latest installment of Defy Expectations. As always, if you have questions about anything I just said, or you're wondering why most of these videos are just rants now, feel free to leave comments below, and I will get to them ASAP. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Check me out on Twitch, the Holderhek. Bye-bye.